Training camp, training camp, training camp. Welcome to the Timeout with Jeff Sports Podcast with your host, the one and only Jeffrey L. Mangrum Jr. Hey, I'm coming to you with NFL Dallas Cowboys training camp edition. That's right. Training camp is right around the corner. I say about 3 days away from training camp before the Cowboys head to Oxnard, California. Hey, little do we know, they may already be en route on the private planes heading to Oxnard, California to begin training camp. Well, with this edition of the Time Out with Jeff Sports Podcast, I'm coming to you with my Dallas Cowboys training camp battles to watch. We all know this is probably a make or break season for many players on the Cowboys roster, including the head coach and Mike McCarthy. We got Mike McCarthy, who may be on the hot seat. We may have Ezekiel Elliott, who may be in his last year with the Dallas Cowboys. And hey, Tyron Smith may be on his last leg. But hey, without further ado, we go kick in, we go dive in and talk about these training camp battles to watch and just a few other storylines that I want you to look forward to seeing when training camp kicks off in these next few days for the Dallas Cowboys and not in Oxnard, California. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. But hey, I'm going to start out with the offensive line. We're going to start out with this offensive line. Hey, we all know years ago, and I'm talking about years ago, the Cowboys had one of the most dominant offensive lines in all of the NFL and probably NFL history for that matter. I mean, we talking about you had Zach Martin, you had Travis Fredericks, you had Tyron Smith, you had Lyle Collins, and I don't even know who the other fill-in person was. Even being a Cowboy fan, I can't even remember. But I knew those four guys right there. Like I said, Zach Martin, Travis Fredericks, Lyle Collins, and Tyron Smith. We had one of the most dominant offensive lines in the NFL. Hey, when Jason Garrett was a coach, he said you have to build in the trenches. So when we had Jason Garrett as coach, he drafted not only offensive linemen, but defensive linemen because you have to win in the trenches. So, hey, we all know Tyron Smith has been hurt last few seasons. We know Travis Fredericks had to retire abruptly because of some medical condition. Had to retire early. We cut Lyle Collins to save cap room for whatever reason. So now all we have is Zach Martin and Tyron Smith from that dominant offensive line that we have. We lost a few other pieces on the offensive line. But hey, that's one of the storylines and battles we need to watch in this training camp for the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, since we let Lyle Collins go, and before he was even playing last season when he was suspended, we had my man Terrence Steele playing the right tackle position. So my question is to you Cowboy fans and just sports fans, will Terrence Steele step up this season? Will he step up? That is the ultimate question. Hey, he's on the island all by himself over there on that right tackle position. That right tackle position. Will Terrence Steele step up? Hey, you tell me what you think. What your thoughts on Terrence Steele stepping up? Come into the comment section below and tell me what you think about it. Hey, I think the dude is ready, in my opinion. And like I said, in my opinion, I think he's ready. I think he's ready to step up. He's going to have a full training camp knowing that he's the starter, the full-time starter all season. So, hey, he's probably been waiting on this opportunity his whole NFL career. And, hey, probably his whole entire life playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, another thing we need to look at is how many games will it take rookie Tyler Smith out of Tulsa to adjust to the NFL? How many games will it take our rookie Tyler Smith to adjust to the NFL game? Hey, a lot of people didn't like the pick when the Cowboys drafted Tyler Smith. They like, who is this guy out of Tulsa? But hey, from what I read and what I've heard, hey, we got a what they call offensive lineman. He has a nasty, mean streak in it. He has that nasty, mean streak in it. Hey, sometimes you may not need to know that name. That name might need to not to have a light bulb pop off in your head. Hey, everybody you're not going to know. You're not going to know them by name. So, will Tyler, no, I'm still thinking about Terrence Steele, my bad. But will Tyler Smith step up and adjust to the NFL game as a rookie? And will he be a day one starter from day one? We all know how the Cowboys roll. You don't put that star on your helmet if you're a rookie in training camp. You have to earn that star. You have to earn that star. So, will he be a day one starter? Will he go into training camp with the first team? Or will they have somebody else with the first team in place of Tyler Smith, the rookie? Hey, I'm ready to see this mean streak that they say he has. You've heard his college coaches talk about him, his high school coaches talk about him. So, hey, we shall see. We shall see. And then on another note of this offensive line, can my man, future Hall of Famer, Tyron Smith, stay healthy? Can Tyron Smith stay healthy? That's the ultimate question. That's the ultimate question we have to answer and ask ourselves as Cowboy fans, as fans, period, who love to watch the game. Because, even if you're not a Cowboy fan, you still watch the game and you say, man, that dude right there, he's on his last leg. He can't stay healthy. He's protecting Dak Prescott blindside. Hey, but can he stay healthy? Oh, I took the liberty to say, what are the over and under in games he plays? What's the over and under? Hey, we know we're in a 17 game season now. 17 game season. That started last year. Hey, out of 17 games, how would you feel? Or what do you think would be a good number for Tyron Smith to play? Is the over and under at let's say 13? Over and under 13. Will he play over 13 games or under 13 games? Can we win if he misses 4 games? If he does play 13 out of a 17 game season, can we win those 4 games with his replacement, whoever that may be? Whoever that may be. Can we win with Tyron Smith out? What is the over and under? I'm going to say the over and under is 13. I'm going to set the number at 13. You come in the comment section below and you tell me you're over and under. And you tell me what you think about this offensive line in training camp. With Terrence still stepping up, with Tyler Smith adjust to the NFL, how long will it take him to adjust to the NFL? And will he be a day one starter? And can Tyron Smith stay healthy? Hey, of course, we're going to have a lot of T. Smiths on the line. It is what it is. Now, one of the most watched battles I think we're going to see come training camp is that wide receiver battle. Many people just threw Steven and Jerry under the bus. And probably even Will McClay for that matter. When we traded away Amari Cooper, our number one receiver, for a bag of pennies. For a bag of pennies. I say for a bag of pennies because, hey, we got a 5th round pick for this dude. I mean, you just look at all the other wide receiver trades in the offseason. Tyreek Hill, I think he was able to be traded away for a 1st round pick. Devontae Adams. Not saying Amari Cooper is on the level of Devontae Adams, but in between Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams, he's in between. So could we at least got a 3rd round pick for him? But hey, we trading away. We didn't want to pay him that $20 million. We traded to the Cleveland Browns. Now that means everybody moves up on the depth chart. That means instead of being a number 2 receiver, CeeDee Lamb is your number 1 receiver. Can he step up? Can he step up? But that's not my ultimate question with these training camp battles and storylines to watch for the Dallas Cowboys. Which wide receiver steps up while Michael Gallup is out? We all know Michael Gallup is going to be your number 2 receiver throughout the season. But there's been rumblings that he could possibly go on the PUP list. If you don't know what the PUP list is, that's the physically unable to perform list for non non-sports fans or people just don't know acronyms for football. That's the physically unable to perform this. If they put him on that list, he has to miss a minimum of 4 games. 4 games. And that's a quarter of the season. So which receiver steps up while Gallup is out? Say he doesn't go on the PUP list and he misses maybe 2 games. We still need to know which receiver will step up. Now, our options here are we sign James Washington, who was a free agent, played for the Pittsburgh Steelers his last few years out of Oklahoma State. We don't know what all he could do. He's never been a number 2 or even number 3 receiver for that matter. But we signed him in free agency. Got a good deal out of him. We drafted somebody like Jalen Tolbert. Those are your options, right? Behind CeeDee Lamb, you got James Washington, your free agent acquisition, and you got your 3rd round draft pick and Jalen Tolbert. Which one of those guys step up in the absence of Michael Gallup? Or will there be somebody else that steps up? You have people like Semi Fidoku, however you say his name. I don't even know how to say his name. He might not even make the roster. TJ Vasher, Noah Brown. Just a few names to throw out there. I mean, the wide receiver cupboard is kind of empty right now because we have a few guys that a lot of people haven't even heard of. So who's going to step up while Michael Gallup is out? Or the ultimate question that I've been asking myself, and a lot of people been asking Cowboy sources, will they sign a veteran? Will the Cowboys sign a veteran receiver? There's been talk about OBJ, which is Odell Beckham Jr. Well, we know he's hurt. ACL. So he probably won't be ready until like October, November. So how can he help you early in the season? Now, later on in the season, as a mid-season acquisition, I'm all for it. But for right now, for the here and now, a couple of names I'm thinking about is Julio Jones. I say Julio Jones for one reason. His relationship with Dan Quinn. Even though Dan Quinn is not the head coach, but he's the defensive coordinator here. He has a relationship with Julio Jones. He knows him better than probably anybody on this Cowboy staff. Yeah, he may not be the Julio Jones of old. We've seen that in these last few seasons. But hey, if he's on, he's on. Could it be Julio Jones? Could it be T.Y. Hilton, Will Fuller, Cole Beasley, or someone else? Those are just a few names out there. Could we trade for a receiver? Like a Laviska Shenault, hometown kid out of DeSoto High School, here in DeSoto, Texas. I mean, those are a few names of veteran receivers. I say that list again. Julio Jones, T.Y. Hilton, Will Fuller, Cole Beasley, or someone else, or possibly make a trade. Hey, tell me your thoughts. You comment in the comment section below and you tell me who you think will be a good veteran acquisition to fill in the Michael Gallup absence. And hey, who knows? If that veteran comes in and fills in quite nicely, maybe we keep him on, and that makes the Dallas Cowboys receiver corps even stronger. Makes them even stronger for later on down the season. Because then when CeeDee Lamb is the number 1, Michael Gallup comes back and takes over his number 2 receiver spot. Then that veteran that you added, who stepped in his absence, then they move to the number 3, and then you got like people like James Washington and Jalen Tolbert who can slide to the 4 and 5 receiver spot, and now your receivers are strong again. Your receiver options are strong again. So those are the questions about the receiver battles. Who steps up in Michael Gallup absence? Will it be James Washington, Jalen Tolbert, or someone else that's already on the roster? Will we sign a veteran? Those are the questions I like to ask and I want to know about and get your thoughts. Hey, if you ever thought about a podcast, whether it be sports podcast or any other podcast, if you haven't heard about Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Well, hey, sports fans, like I said at the top of the show, we're getting ready to head to Oxnard, California before the Dallas Cowboys training camp. That's right. This is training camp edition of the Time Out with Jeff Sports Podcast with your host, your one and only, Jeffrey L. Mangum Jr. Hey, at the top of the show, we talked about offensive line and we talked about wide receiver. Now we're going to peel back and talk about the defensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball. We all know my man, Trayvon Diggs, is a beast, in my opinion, at that cornerback position. 11 interceptions. Now, many people might say, the dude gave up tons of yards. But man, it's a passing league. It is a passing league in NFL. We know you're going to give up yards. You're going to get beat sometimes. I don't see too many more shut down cornerbacks like, my man, like Dara Greens of the world, Deion Primetime Sanders. Man, it's just not many. You have a few cornerbacks who can lock you down. But, hey, even they've been beat. Trayvon Diggs, hey, we know he's going to start at the cornerback position. But who is going to be your number 2 cornerback on the Cowboys this season? That's a battle and a storyline to pay attention to when training camp kicks off. We know Anthony Brown, he was the number 2 receiver. Hey, he won that spot. We know Jordan Lewis is like your main slot cornerback because he plays it pretty well. But will it be Anthony Brown or Kevin Joseph? Now, many of you probably gonna say is, man, this dude may not even be on the team. We already know. That's why I have down here legal issues. Legal issues. We won't get into those legal issues. If you've been following the Kevin Joseph news, you already know what those legal issues are. But will that ultimately stop him from making a team if new information come out? Or will he be a part of this 2022 Cowboys roster? And can he win that number 2 cornerback spot? So, my question is, who gets the number 2 spot? Anthony Brown, Kevin Joseph, or is this somebody that we're not even thinking of right now? Now, if Kevin Joseph wins the number 2 spot, does that make Anthony Brown expandable? Or do we keep him on and just keep our cornerback depth? Or do we look to trade him later on and go with Diggs, Joseph, and my man Jordan Lewis and whoever else at their cornerback position? That's a cornerback position you need to keep an eye on. That's going to be a battle, I believe. That's going to be the most talked about Cowboy battle during training camp. Now, we all know. Here it is. After the draft, you heard Stephen Jones talk about, we still going to make some free agency moves. Now, if you're just not tuned in and you're not a diehard Cowboy fan, as you see here and you see across this table, you see behind me, this is a Cowboy fan. This is a Cowboy fan. So somebody like me knows the little sprinkles that we've made in our free agency pickups. Nothing to probably move the needle or anything, but we made some free agent acquisition. You always hear Stephen Jones say, free agency and player acquisition is 365. We all know that. 365, 24/7. I think that's just a little little way of saying, be patient, fans. We can make acquisitions at any time of year, any time of day. Now, he's right about that. But come on now. Fans want to see action. So before I get into these possible free agents or trade targets that we could possibly add to the Cowboys roster, let's talk about guys we've signed already. We all know we got Michael Parsons at linebacker. We got Jabril Cox coming back. We got LVE, that's Leighton Vander Esch, coming back. So we got some other guys now that play special teams. I think Luke Gifford, I think he'll be back, one of our special teams guys. I'm not sure who else. And then the guy out of LSU, we don't know if he's gonna play. He had the fusion, the spinal fusion, or something to that nature. So we don't know. He may be a red shirt this year. But the Cowboys made some signings. Christian Sam, many of you may have heard of him, played for the Patriots and played in this USFL league, and Malik Jefferson. Now Malik Jefferson, hometown product, University of Texas. He was a third round pick, I believe, but he's bounced around from a lot of teams. So we don't even know if those guys will make the team, or are they going to be mainly special teams guys if they do ultimately make the team. But there's been talk of the Cowboys possibly adding another linebacker. We flirted with the Bobby Wagner's of the world. He ultimately took the money and ran, I guess, more than what we was offering. Von Miller talked about being here, possibly joining his hometown team. He even would have took a discount, but not as much as the Cowboys were trying to discount him. I don't blame him. He took his money with the Bills. Hey, you don't get paid too many times. So he could have been like that linebacker / DN he is. So with that being said, there's been rumblings and it seems like it's only a matter of time before we hear the possibly if it is breaking news or whatever it is, but I'm sure it will be considered breaking news. Should the Cowboys, and will they sign linebacker Anthony Barr, who's a free agent who last played for the Minnesota Vikings? Now, we know he was going to make $10 million for the Vikings if he was still on the roster. But we know the Cowboys are tight. They so tight. They tight. They almost as tight as these skinny jeans that people are wearing these days. So what is it? I know it's going to ultimately come down to money. I don't think there's nothing in there where Anthony Barr is not seriously interested in coming to join the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are not seriously interested in bringing him in. I think it's a mutual agreement. They want to join forces, but it's all about money, dollar bill, yo. If Anthony Barr want 10, 11 million, will he settle for 8 or 9, maybe even 7 with incentives? And I say incentives because he's at the age of 30. So you have to look at how many games will he play. So it's all going to come down to the money. Or could we trade for somebody like Deion Jones, who the Atlanta Falcons put on the PUP list? He's a Dan Quinn player. Dan Quinn knows him. But could we just sign Anthony Barr and not give up a draft pick for him and just pay him if the money is right and make that pickup happen? Hey, you let me know. Don't forget, comment in the comment section below. Hit the big red subscribe button for more videos from Timeout with Jeff. Hey, it's been a pleasure speaking with you y'all, talking to y'all about Dallas Cowboys training camp, battles to watch, and storylines to look forward to. Hey, be easy. Love you. Peace.